This is the summary for Lesson 4, More Balanced Moves. And in the summary, the authors are making the point that when working with positive and negative terms, there are many places to make errors if you're not careful. For example, you can add when it's actually meant for you to subtract, or you can miss a negative when you use the distributive property. Just many places where you can make mistakes. And then when you check your answer by substituting, in this case, 3 for x up here, you do not get the same expression on each side. So it confirms that you somewhere have made a mistake when solving this equation. Now I'm going to jump ahead a little bit here. One thing that for me that helps keep that positive and negative term straight is by reminding myself that this is the opposite of 3 times x and the opposite of 3 times 5. So the opposite of 3 times x is 3x. Well, the opposite of 3 times x is a negative 3x right here, and the opposite of 3 times 5 is a negative 15. So 3 times 5 is 15. The opposite of 15 is a negative 15. And then as I work through, I'm going to add a positive 3x to both sides. This becomes 5x, and this negative 15 remains here because I've gotten rid of that negative 3x. So 5x equals negative 15, x equals negative 3. So this is jumping ahead just a little bit. But as the answer that the authors got here, where they made the mistake, they get 6 on one side when you replace x with 3, and a negative 24 on the other side when you replace this x right here with 3. So somewhere they made a mistake, and they say that they can fix it. So the mistake somewhere, you can fix it by distributing the negative 3. We made a mistake when distributing negative 3. Fixing it, we now have. So they say here that they fixed it. So this is a negative 3 times x, which is a negative 3x. But I disagree with what they've done here. They say this is a negative 3 times 5, which is a positive 15 minus subtracting a positive 15. Now that's true, but I don't know where this subtraction comes from and why they say this is a positive 15. I can see how they can get to that point. You can say that this is a negative 3 times a positive 5 is a negative 15. So that's adding a negative 15, and then you can say adding a negative 15 is the same as subtracting a positive 15. So I can get there. I just don't know why you would want to do that. So if you leave this, so this is negative 3 times positive 5. So this is the opposite of 3 times 5, which is negative 15. So just leave it as negative 15. So you're adding negative 15. And then when you get rid of this negative 3x by adding a positive 3x, this becomes 5x over here. You've gotten rid of this negative 3x, and now you're left with this negative 15. So it makes sense. The opposite of 3 times 5 is the opposite of 15, which is negative 15. You get rid of this term right here, and this negative 15 is what's left. And so multiply through by 1/5. So 1/5 of 5x and 1/5 of a negative 15 is negative 3. Check your answer in the equation, negative 3 and negative 3, and you get negative 6 on both sides. So negative 3 is the solution. I think this is a big deal right here. And I'm continually changing, subtracting a positive 15 to adding a negative 15. So I'm continually changing subtraction to addition in everything I do, and that resolves, I think, in many places, errors that you could potentially make.